Blasting looks cheap, but on a lot of jobs it ends up being the most expensive way to deal with rock. Most contractors compare the cost to break the rock. That's the wrong number to focus on. The number that actually matters is the cost to finish the job. For years, the standard answer when you hit rock was simple. You either hammer it or you blast it. And for big jobs, blasting usually looks like the fastest and cheapest option. But the reality is, blasting creates a whole chain of extra work and extra costs that most people don't think about at the beginning of the project. When you blast rock, the work isn't over when the dust settles. In a lot of ways, that's when the real work starts. First, you're left with oversized material everywhere. Those big blasted boulders usually can't be used the way they are, so now you need another machine to break them down. That means bringing in a hammer, paying for more machine time, and paying for another operator. Next problem is hauling. A lot of that blasted rock can't be reused on site, which means it has to be loaded into trucks and hauled away. Trucking rock off site gets expensive very quickly. Then, once you remove that material, you have another problem. Now you need to replace it with something, so now you're buying fill material and paying to have it hauled back in. On top of all of that, blasting comes with risk. You're dealing with fly rock, vibration, permits, and potential damage to nearby structures. All of that affects liability and insurance costs. Sometimes those risks become very real. There was a project here locally where they were blasting rock during construction. One of the blasts sent a large piece of rock all the way out onto the interstate. It landed in traffic and a car struck the rock, causing catastrophic damage to the vehicle. Thankfully, no one was killed, but think about what that could have turned into. One moment like that can turn a project into a massive legal liability. Lawsuits, shutdowns, investigations, that's the kind of cost that never shows up in the original bid. So what started as the cheapest way to break rock can quickly become the most expensive way to finish the job. Now let's look at a different approach. When you use Chemrock drum cutters, you're not just breaking rock, you're processing it. Instead of creating huge chunks of blasted material, the cutter produces uniform spoil that's already the right size to be reused. That means no secondary breaking, no hauling oversized rock off site, and no bringing new material back in. The rock that comes out of the trench can usually go right back into the project as backfill. This isn't a theory for me. My family owns a construction company called T&C Contracting. For years, we did what most contractors do. When we hit rock, we pulled out the hydraulic breakers. But after working with drum cutters, we started realizing how much more efficient they were on a lot of jobs. Today, we've replaced all of our hydraulic breakers with a fleet of Chemrock attachments for our day-to-day work. That's actually what led me to become a dealer. I saw firsthand how much time and money this technology could save, and I realized most contractors in the United States don't even know it exists. Drum cutters like this have been used across Europe for almost 40 years. They're proven, reliable tools. They're just finally starting to gain traction here in the US. We saw exactly how powerful this approach can be on our bourbon distillery project. On that job, we cut more than 60,000 cubic yards of rock, and every bit of that material was reused right there on site. That's thousands of truckloads of rock that never had to leave the job. No trucking costs, no disposal costs, no importing fill. When you look at the total project cost, that makes a massive difference. This is where a lot of contractors get surprised. If you only compare cost to break the rock, blasting can look cheaper at the beginning. But once you start adding up those extra steps, the cost of handling that blasted rock starts stacking up pretty fast. You have the cost of secondary breaking, the cost of trucking material away, the cost of buying and hauling new fill, and the added risk that comes with blasting. With a drum cutter, the upfront equipment cost may look higher, but the total cost of the job is often significantly lower because you eliminate all those extra steps. So instead of asking what's the cheapest way to break rock, the better question is what's the most efficient way to finish the job. If you're dealing with rock excavation on your projects, it's worth taking a serious look at mechanical cutting as an alternative to blasting or breaking. At Rock Hard Solutions, we work with contractors every day who are looking for better ways to handle rock on their projects. If you want to see whether a Chemrock cutter can save time and money on your next job, reach out and let's talk.